Iron Lung to me is the most impressive movie to come out in the last, honestly, 15 years. It is the absolute dream of a filmmaker being fully self-funded and having your own distribution rights, something that everyone strives for, and he was able to do it perfectly down to a T. I don't see enough videos talking about this online of how impressive it truly is that a YouTuber, someone who has genuinely just made YouTube videos for the entirety of their career, was able to self-fund, self-edit, and self-produce an entire Hollywood movie? I mean, this should have Hollywood executives disgusted just by how impressive this is. Let's look at the budget, allegedly, of how much this movie cost just for him to make. Now, the only thing I've been able to find is, it looks like it was a podcast appearance that he made where he was talking about where the funding for the film came, and it was a little over $4 million for the budget, which in terms of Hollywood movies, that is next to nothing. That's pennies for some of the movies that you see and watch every day on Netflix, HBO, everything. To put this in perspective, the current blockbuster movie coming out right this second is Project Hail Mary. Dirty. Produced by Amazon MGM Studios, and the budget for that one allegedly is $248 million. So when we say $4 million for an indie film, that is impressive, but $4 million for what this is with a worldwide release, that's a blockbuster type movie on a very small budget. It's just the most impressive thing, especially for a filmmaker, just realizing of the true potential that you have, especially when you bet on yourself and how far it can take you. It's so impressive. Again, $4 million, basically nothing. So far, this is as of 2 weeks ago, I'm sure it's already run its course in theaters. I saw it, I think, 3 weeks ago. So it should be nearing its end for the theatrical release. And so far, it looks like it's passed $50 million worldwide. That by itself is absolutely insane. Now, I followed Mark for years now, and I was always curious about Iron Lung. I always wanted to know how this project would turn out, because as a fan, obviously you want to see it, but as a filmmaker, as someone who wants to make their own movies, that is the most interesting thing in the world of how a fully self-funded project from a YouTuber fully turns out. The critical reception of it, and then of course box office matters more than anything, especially when you talk about moving to the next level of taking that to somewhere like Paramount or Warner Brothers. They want to see the numbers first because it's an investment for them. And as much as we hate it, at the end of the day, films, cinema, all of it, it's a business. So of course, if you have something where you show you're not going to make your money back, they're not going to spend the money on you. But now this breaks the ceiling, because now it shows all these creative entities and people on YouTube, they can actually make some very impressive things. It opens the door to Hollywood more, a door that's been closed for 30, 40 years. And it's genuinely the most exciting thing. And I'm so disappointed more people are not talking about it. It's crazy to me what this movie has achieved. And even watching it in theaters, just watching the quality of it was so impressive. Just knowing how much they probably spent on it. My guess was way off. I was thinking, watching this in theaters, I was thinking it's probably about a $10 million budget, maybe slightly over. I was wondering how they even found the money for that. But now we're talking about half of what I even expected, around $4 million to make this film. It's just beyond wild of what they were able to achieve. And I know he did the editing himself and he put in the work himself. And of course, the cast and crew around him were phenomenal for it. The cinematography was beautiful. The writing was good, which I'm not sure if it was fully written by Mark or if it was co-written with the original creator of Iron Lung. For those of you that don't know, Iron Lung is based off of a video game in the first place. But the special effects was so impressive. And if he actually took the time, and I know this is why it took years, but if he actually took the time and he did all of the effects himself, that is insane. For anyone who's tried to actually do any kind of visual effects using either Blender or Nuke or Maya or any of those, you know it's hard. If it's something you don't do and you're trying to learn, it is so hard and time consuming to get into. Now we're talking about a content creator who is still putting out content. Yes, he took breaks from time to time, obviously, but still somewhat regularly putting out content. And then on top of that, editing your own movie. And then on top of that, doing the visual effects for it, and then doing them well. I didn't have any complaints on the visual effects for the movie. They were outstanding. If I would have seen this in a Warner Brothers movie, or like I mentioned before, Project Hail Mary, a brand new blockbuster coming out today, it makes sense. It looks phenomenal. But the thing that gets me is just how much of a milestone this is for not just him, but for the filmmaking community on YouTube. And hopefully this can push them forward and get some of the big names out there. Obviously, we see it kind of starting now, especially with Kane and his Backrooms movie, which I know the trailer for that just released. Super impressed with that too. Now we see the floodgates opening. Now, what I want to see is some of the very just talented and really, really interesting filmmakers on the YouTube community get the shot. Someone like Curry Baker or Dylan Clark. I love Portrait of God. And I heard recently that he may get a shot of, turning it into a full feature, something like that. And I think that's really good. That's great for the community. And it's nice to see the floodgates slowly starting to open up, and people that really, truly deserve the chance get the chance to make something phenomenal. But before Iron Lung, we had Milk and Cereal, which, if you haven't seen it already, I definitely recommend it. It is a full feature film that, to me, was just shadow dropped out of nowhere, and it is phenomenal. Very impressive, and it got lots of buzz when it first dropped. It's eventually died down, but I'm hoping that it gives YouTubers and filmmakers the inspiration they need, because there's a lot of fluff going around in the short film community, a lot of the same recycled material over and over. And just seeing original IPs just flourish is such a good sign for what's to come. And hopefully seeing the success stories now start to build really gets people going, gets the motivation flowing, because we're already stuck with Hollywood getting stale. We don't need indie getting stale too. Indie is supposed to be fun, experimental. It's supposed to be everything that Hollywood isn't. And then that translates into a period of change in Hollywood. We've seen it historically all the time. Hopefully this is the beginning of that change, and hopefully now you understand the true importance of why Iron Lung is honestly still, in my opinion, the most impressive thing to come out in the past 15, 20, I can go back to almost 30 years. It has nothing to do with the story. It has everything to do with one person's individual journey and the flourishment that has come afterwards, and how now it can open the floodgates for anyone. As long as you're talented, put in the effort. I'm not saying you're going to have $1 million plus to make your content or to make your short film or anything like that, but it is a great start, and now it shows anything can truly happen. And now with Iron Lung ending its theatrical run, it's only a matter of time before it's out on streaming, and that audience that will see that movie is only going to grow more and more, to the point where Hollywood can't ignore it anymore. They just have to accept the fact that a YouTuber has changed the way that people can get into the door and make some really, really amazing things in this world. But that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know if you have or have not seen the movie. I'm curious to see how many of you haven't. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.